them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay. Here are my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Got a lot of topics to talk about today, so I want to get straight into it, but I want to emphasize that this is our second time in a row of dropping it on time, so be proud of us for that. And yeah, we're going to get right into it because we really don't have time to waste, and I want to get to a lot of stuff. So, without further ado, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how your day been, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, how's life, what games you've been playing, all that good jazz.
What's up, folks? I've been doing well, trying to get over a little bit of a cold. Playing dad and uncle, playing around with kids. Came down with a little cough, and but it ain't COVID, and so otherwise, I'm in good health. Family in good health. I've been pretty busy, just with work and family stuff. Taking the little one out more because she's getting older and wanting to like play. So we've been
Get
going out
into
to the
some
mall.
stuff, for sure.
Yeah,
That's what they all do.
play area, let her crawl around. Actually, that might have been it because she jumped in one of those ball pits.
Oh, yeah. They don't clean them. They don't clean them like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, fun though. But yeah, we I'm gonna have to start carrying some
Hand
sanitizer
sanitizer.
spray. As far as games, just been playing a lot of Divinity Original Sin. That's the game that came before Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is, blowing up the internet, and it seems really fun. I just want to take my time with the older games to like learn how they build worlds and stuff, because I feel like if I, drop a lot of money on Baldur's Gate 3 and it's too hard, then I'm gonna fall off it. In which it seems fun, and I want to, put some time into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, just gonna go through my backlog, finish off some games I have for a while. Like I haven't finished Sonic Frontiers, so I'm trying to finish that, and Gotham Knights. Because we got a bunch of games on the horizon, and I actually want to try to play them when they come out. So
Nice.
but that's my week. Pretty good.
Yeah. It's a lot of games and stuff like that. Like I said, we want to talk about, and Baldur's Gate is definitely on the list, people. So don't worry, we're gonna get to that as well. But Jalen, what's up with you? What you been up to? What you been playing? How's life?
I'm trying to think. I'm smooth. Ain't did too much in the past week. I'm actually chilled out for the weekend. I didn't travel anywhere or anything like that. Like I'm gonna sit right here and not do anything. And did not just. Well, as far as like games and stuff like that, not nothing specific or whatever. I'm still playing Final Fantasy 16. I ain't played too much of that. If I'm being completely honest with you, I was working on that Lego set for like most of last week.
Yeah, how is that Lego set coming along? Good?
I'm done with it. I had finished it over. I said I was gonna finish over the weekend, so
Gotcha.
I had did that. I was pretty much done with it before the end of the week, but I had like one more bag of Legos to get through because they got them all in a different bags and stuff like section off basically or whatever to kind of keep it a little bit more streamlined instead of you having a scavenger hunt to find certain pieces and stuff like that, which is pretty convenient. I think I finished it faster than what I thought I would. I thought I'd be working on it for months because of so many pieces and things like that, but I was literally binging Dr. Stone and working on Legos simultaneously. So, but I think that's really about it as far as like, updates, things that I've been up to or whatever. Like I said, I'm going to keep playing this Final Fantasy 16 and...
Have you changed your mind about Exoprimal?
Exo who? Dino Frame?
Dino Frame. Did you change your mind about Dino Frame? I heard it was your game of the year now. That's what I heard. No, that's not
If
true.
if they have a little bit less raptors in there, then I mean,
I thought you said you wanted more raptors. I thought you wanted to summon more raptors. I thought it
nah,
was.
it's not like they need more raptors or something. That's why they summoned you last week when we was on the podcast.
Yeah, I thought you said you love to shake them JPEGs and you love the raptors. So everything you
Summon
love about it. You
raptors.
say you love Roy Frame, you love the JPEGs, you love the raptors, everything. But
Nah,
yeah,
only thing they missing is forget Captain Board. They need Captain Raptor in there. You ain't to the Raptors.
yeah, that game is a solid 7. I don't know what you talk about, G. That's a good goddamn game. But all right, well, I ain't really been up to much. I mean, I've been trying to beat some games. No, I have not beat Dead Space. Don't ask me. And I mean, I just been trying to beat some games so I could play some more games. Really, I really wanted to buy Baldur's Gate because I wanted to try it, but I was like, I literally have Midnight Suns. I have Disco Elysium that I haven't even beat, and those are kind of like in the same ballpark of those types of games. And I was like, I shouldn't be around by that. So if I got Diablo and things like that too, so I left it be.
RPG.
Yeah. I fought off some FOMO because I was like, I just got too much to play, anyways. But that does look like an exciting game. Growth. yeah, it is growth. But yeah, I got plenty to beat, plenty to play. I don't really have that time to play that right now. But I definitely probably going to give Starfield my time once it comes. And I got to get through some stuff. So, yeah, that was, we're gonna still talk about Baldur's Gate and all of the stuff around it and like their scores and stuff. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on what I've been up to, what I've been trying not to buy, and yeah, how it's been. Kids good, family's good, life's good, can't complain. I still gotta go out there and finish out my deck, or at least get somebody to help finish the deck and get that all taken care of, because it is decaying, and I need to save it before it gets too bad. So yeah, dad stuff, normal stuff. Life goes on. It's a beautiful thing. But let's get right into it, because we don't really have time to lollygag. We got plenty to talk about here, as I stated. First things first. Let's start with the biggest L this week. I'm gonna have to get that to Take Two CEO for because he said this pricing is commercially accurate for $50 for Red Dead Redemption 1, not a remake but a port, and it's coming to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, and they want $50. And it has less features than the ones that you can buy for $20 right now. Make that make sense. So I really don't get it.
You probably need it cheaper, or if you still got the disc, you just put in your Xbox and it loads it up.
No, I'm saying the PS3 version, the greatest version, hit. Yeah, it's $20, $25, and you can literally play that. I mean, you gotta have a PS3, but that one will at least have the multiplayer attached. The Xbox Series X version that you can play, because you can play the old 360 games, still has the multiplayer, and if you have that old disc, you can still play it with the upgrades that they have provided for no money, because you just have the disc. So it just makes this CEO just seem like a straight trash person. Like, and the justification really isn't a justification. How is that commercially accurate? It doesn't make sense. I understand that everybody doesn't have backwards compatibility, but at the same time, because someone does, and the game still ain't get a PC port, because one of the three does, that really hurts your ability to kind of sell this if not make a remake. You know, they could have easily had a lot of people love this if it was a remake and people were, you know, had updated graphics and all that good jazz. I'm pretty sure anybody would have paid $50 or $60, probably even full price for a good remake of Red Dead Redemption because people actually enjoyed the game. But to say that that Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, you know, consumers all deserve to pay $50 from a generational jump of, you know, going from like 900 1080p to 4K with no different settings is worth it. Plus you lose functions. It just makes zero sense. So yeah, bad on this guy. I don't even know his name, but what is the Take-Two's guy name? Strauss Zelnick. Strauss Zelnick. Unfortunate. But yeah. What is that? I mean, obviously, it's the seat. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think, you know, Rockstar are making these types of calls anyway. I think this is obviously their money grab situation here. But I guess let's talk about the hypotheticals of how we would want to see this. And I think kind of covered it. But how we want to see this? What would make this, even if it was in this same state, Josh? How would you make this better? If you were CEO of Take-Two.
I mean, I guess you just have to read the market. People are not happy with the last GTA remakes, and they messed them up. I mean, they did change a lot of assets, but it ended up being worse than the original for a lot of people. So for this, they just did the bare minimum, which I think that if you know you have these big franchises that are some of the best-selling games ever, you just have to cater to what the fan base wants. Like you said, I mean, I've replayed Red Dead on the Series X last year probably, and if they put in a lot of effort for the remake and made it improved in some ways, I would have probably bought it again. But like this here is worthless. It's worth less than what the discs already have. So I don't know. For them, it's just make quick money off of the name and then forget about it. But I think they need to be thinking long term. You know, I mean, even like Sony, even though they keep re-releasing The Last of Us, they're at least claiming, oh, we put in all these accessibility features, we put in all this other stuff that was not available in the original game, and so this is the quote-unquote definitive version. So you need to at least be thinking that way. We're going to make the definitive version of this game, and that value on its own is going to bring people, bring customers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we all know how you feel about remakes. I know we know you love your Last of Us, Jalen. But how would you try to even spin this? Like at this moment, $50 report. How would anyone with common sense try to sell this to the consumer? Because right now it just doesn't make any. It's the Switch and PS4 port only.
I mean, from the way I understand it, it just kind of seemed like, look, if you want to play Red Dead on your Switch or your PlayStation, that's what you need to do. Y'all don't got the convenience like Xbox do to go play the actual game, you know what I mean, with the backwards compatibility. So,
it's your only choice.
Yeah, this is really your only choice. Like, if you want to play Red Dead that bad on like a new console or something like that and not go out your way to go get a PS3 or something, or I guess play it on the go, like on the Switch. I mean, it's your only option right here, so come see what we talking about. Come shop with it.
So you're not really providing a better solution. You more so justification on why it exists. Now I agree that the idea of being portable with Red Dead Redemption is cool. But there are options out there that will allow you to play Red Dead Redemption on the go. It may not be, and it's 100% legal too. So it's not like it's a problem. It's just more so, you know, I mean, you might have to have different devices and things like that. But outside of that, I guess, a commercially known device and how to license that said item or game on take it on the go, I guess this is the most this is the easiest path to that. But it's definitely not the cheapest, nor does it feel right when you actually get it in your hands and actually start to play it. I mean, it's just it's unfortunately just too high. I don't know. How do we feel about it if it was at $20-$30? Like, I would still think it would be too high. I mean, that would be more justified for me. Like $30, okay, I understand. You're not giving us the full game. People get to play it on the go. It is just a port. You're going to give us a better enhancement on the graphics, or at least like clarity, resolution. I think we can. If I had to spend this, I would probably just change the price to $30, and I think that would probably go over better.
Like $30. Because the Xbox version is free. It'll like the upgrade improvements, but for PlayStation, they don't have the equivalent of that system Xbox has, so they can try to justify it that just $20. This is just for the port itself, nothing new. It might be all right, but
it still feels nasty.
It's also why they didn't put it on PC, because like they didn't put any work into it. So
I just feel like they have something. They obviously going to have a remake coming, but this is like something that they just was like, let's get it out there. Let's get the other ones out there so that we don't have to. I don't even know. Like, I don't know why this exists, but it's $50 if you guys want to check it out. Comes out August 17th. It's on PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch. Do with that information as you will. But honestly, this is a hard pass for anybody with a brain. Let's move on though. Let's get to a PlayStation. Trying to ruin young men and women's careers before they get off the ground. PlayStation just dropped their price $50 through Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, GameStop, wherever you can buy PS5. They have lowered the price of the disc version to $450. The disc version is still the same, $400. I mean, do y'all think this is necessary? Obviously, it's not even for that long of a period. They actually only did it from, I think it ends on the 17th of this month or something like that. It's not very long for the discount to actually have occurred. Wouldn't this be better served during the holiday season? Or what? Do you think that people are really going to back to school shopping and buying PS5s? Like, what's the marketing behind this? What do you think about that? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's it could be like people making bad decisions and buying PS5s, but I think people that can afford to buy a PS5 and take it to college probably already have a PS5. So I don't know what this is for. I don't know. I mean,
I don't think it's a huge market for it, but the PlayStation 5 has been so popular that I think they will still see a boost in sales. Because like anybody who's wanted one, they're available now. But if they were just waiting a little bit longer, this is a pretty good deal. And with Spider-Man coming out soon, so
October.
Get the system out. I mean, I don't think it will be huge like the holidays, but like if I was considering buying one, this would be a good time.
I guess I'm just surprised on the timing. I mean, it's August something. I guess they're trying to beat the holiday rush, but at the same time, I think that's when people are more so going to be buying these versus just buying them in the middle of the summer or the end of the summer before people go back to school and kids go back. They're not even going to be able to play it, so they normally don't do a lot of purchasing around this time. Because they just got back from holidays. I mean, I'm just thinking of it from an aspect of that. It's not like people are just doing that, but I understand the the importance of just dropping your price anyway, and trying to make sure you keep the momentum up. But I think this would be better suited with a actual game coming out. So maybe 3 weeks before Spider-Man, I would have thought this would be a good idea. And then people have that buy a PS5, get the pre-orders, whatever. But I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. But did this entice you? Did this think, or did you not even notice that this was dropped? I know you, because you're the only one that doesn't have one at this point, right? Yeah.
No, it definitely got me interested. Because I mean, honestly, there's only like 1 or 2 games in play, but I'm thinking of just getting out of the way. But with the price drop, it's not necessarily meaning that they're going to come out with a slim or revised model or anything like that. But these next couple months is usually time to pay attention to, because they do, sometimes drop the price and here's the other version, the super slim discless version or something. So I'm gonna be looking around at the news, see if there's any rumors of something coming out. If so, I might wait. But yeah,
if anything, this made the flippers pretty upset.
Oh,
the console flippers still out there. I don't know how many of them are, because it's been way too many. Just abundance of PS5s, but the console flippers might still be out there getting upset. Yeah, man, they're still out there, Jay. They're still out there.
Didn't even know that.
They trying it. They tried. You tried it. They still trying to make they $10, $20 per console. They tried it. I mean, you do it in bulk. Maybe you got a profit there. But no. But yeah. Let's see. Let's move on. I mean, we can't just start talking about let's kind of get the Baldurs Gate out the way, cause I know that's it's just like huge at this point. It is.
Yeah.
Did you think that this game was gonna sell as well, especially a PC only game right now? Like the amount of people.
Oh no, definitely not, because Baldur's Gate, I guess, is an IP that's been around, like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that. But these are like single player. Well, it has co-op, like multiplayer, but it's a single player focused RPG, and those games don't usually sell this well. But it just blew up. I think that's a combination of obviously word of mouth, but this developer has developed like a strong community over the last few games. And then it's coming back with a known IP, and then just showing the game off. It seems like a really, really in-depth like RPG. Like, I know people had issues with Cyberpunk, but it had a lot of like ideas and systems. Like I think got people really interested again into RPGs that have a lot going on. For example, when you go back to like Dragon Age or Mass Effect, they're pretty basic. Like you either you do the good thing or you do the bad thing, and then the story moves on. But like actually being able to like, because you went to this town first and you then came to this town, we're not going to talk to you. Or you've been nice to this old lady, and that comes back later in the story or something like that. And I think that on its own makes RPGs interested, that they're not just like a cookie cutter experience. It's going to give you like dynamic stories and combat and scenarios to pop up. It makes it very interesting. But I would say its success is mostly it's word of mouth, because it's been in early access for like a year or two, and now it is finally coming out and people really getting to see all the stuff that they put into it. Now it's blowing up.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, weren't people able to play this game already, or am I tripping? But yeah, it just I guess when they finally dropped its official update and provided, I'm not sure if early access only provides you a certain area, because I think maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, and, it was only chapter 1, and I think they also limited, like you can only go up to like level 5 or something like that. But now,
gotcha.
The game is fully open. Yeah, you can see everything.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess in combination, that early access, it truly was just like a small slice demo, and then this is what the full game is. But it's very tough not to ignore. Like I said, this is something that I was definitely looking like, okay, maybe I should give it a shot. But there's plenty of things to play, and I think Baldur's Gate is showing people that, hey, there's an appetite for these types of games elsewhere, because I think it's going to sell well on the PS5, and I think it's going to sell well on the Xbox once they actually release. And that's my expectation. That's my hope, is that it does not just translate to PC only, and it goes into people that actually want to play it on the PlayStation and play it on the PC, and it gets that even bigger momentum during that time. What I can see right now is that people that probably own an Xbox probably have been transferring to PC, and this is like a culmination of the gradual shift that most Xbox players are probably picking up PCs, and they're like, well, I can just play it on my PC and not play on the Xbox, and kind of like those types of things where it's starting to come interchangeable with the Xbox. So maybe that's a little bit to bolster the sales, because people that aren't usually into these are enticed by them, have PCs that they built recently, and over time they probably just now have cultivated a group of people that now won't truly like these types of games and are seeking them. And because I think they were like well above the almost like number 2 in concurrent players of all time. So it just tells me that it's that doesn't happen, especially not for a single player game, So it just tells me that they're really doing well, and I'm happy for their success. And I hope that in the future, these types of games get the recognition and the praise that they truly deserve, because I think they are very intricate and detailed, and a lot of games never get to that level. And the stuff that we praise so highly just pulls from these types of games anyway. So the mechanics that you get, the small things that you get from God of War, the small things that you get from Horizon Forbidden West, like those types of games, and you're like, oh, these mechanics are so cool. They derive from these types of large, expansive games. So it's cool. I like it. I enjoy it, and I'm glad for them. At some point, I'm gonna get this game. It's probably going to be at a later time, probably when it actually hits consoles versus now. So but I'm glad, and I'm very happy that they are finding true success in this type of market. Some weird stuff too, though, like there's some weird articles out there, and I did see some correlation between the two. And I don't want to get I don't know, but it seems as if this game, with all the abundance of the sexuality, being able to romance a bear, all these things are getting a better coverage than most games that might steer that way if it wasn't, I guess, so fantastical. I don't know. I just feel like this game is getting a lot better and more friendly coverage than most. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I don't like when people pick and choose when certain things is an outrage and certain things are not, or even if there is like a female protagonist and people take that to the extreme, and they kind of use that as either to boast or to downgrade the game. I just don't like when I guess the abundance of sexuality and things like that are presented in a game, that it is criticized here elsewhere, but not criticized here. That tells me that you are picking and choosing versus actually caring about what's in the game, because those same things apply. It's just that this game is in a different light. So that's what I don't like, and it's I don't want to brain on their parade or whatever. I want to bring that up to people, that when you're looking at the media and you're thinking about the media, trust and believe that they spin it to how they want you to see it. And it's going to happen constantly. You don't have any control over it, but you have to understand and call out those types of things in your mind. You don't have to get on social media and try to blast anyone, especially not putting down any creators or anything like that. But you just want to keep that in your back of your head, that, hey, these could be these could be correlated, but they will be treated differently. I mean, that's just life. But, you know, I just wanted to point that out, that I do see that this one, I think everybody's making an article about how to sex the bear. And, like, it's just like, what? Why are y'all talking about, why is this a thing? And then, well, why are y'all kind of emphasizing it? And I know other types of situations where maybe if it was just a I don't want to get into it, but what I want to say is that those types of differences kind of it kind of alarms me. Like, okay, maybe they're on this one side and maybe they're not on this one side, but they're doing the same thing. So keep that in mind, people. Keep it in mind. Any other thoughts about Baldur's Gate, Jalen or Josh? I don't know, Jalen. Did you see any coverage on this game at all?
No, not really.
No. Yeah, it's like I said, it's pretty big. So maybe check it out. Maybe look around and see what you think about it. I know it's from Lorraine Studios. I don't think you probably ever played any of their games, but I mean, it's fantastical Dungeons and Dragons type of situation stuff. So
yeah, and it's not an action RPG or anything like Well, I guess Dragon Age is not fully an action RPG, but it's more RPG where you click on your character, move on here, and do an attack. It's turn based, but they spent a lot of money on the characters and cutscenes and faces, so it doesn't. Even though you're doing turn based combat, it still feels like a very high quality AAA conversations and stories, so it can really get you immersed. And that for me, that's what pushes it over the edge, because I already like fantasy RPGs, but when you have a random conversation with the NPC, or I saw one where you had a random conversation with a squirrel, and it's the camera angle, production, and the backgrounds and the grass and the characters all look like this is a main character that you're talking to, but you're just talking to a little squirrel on the road. That quality you don't usually see in these type of games, and I think that's probably for the benefit of early access, or just securing funding early so they can just keep pushing it. But yeah, the game looks really good. I definitely want to get into it soon.
Yeah. So okay. Well, let's move on. Still got some other stuff to talk about. I mean, I don't know who can take the helm on this, because I didn't watch it, and I'm straight on it. But Pokemon had an event, today? Yeah, they had an event today. And, I mean, I wasn't super jazzed about it. I didn't care for it. And I looked from the sentiment online is that it didn't really do a good splash. But I have a little thing up. Maybe y'all can fill in some blanks, but yeah, let's talk about it. The biggest thing I think that came out, if I'm not mistaken, is that Mew and Mewtwo are going to be in Scarlet and Violet. I think Mew is in there now. That's pretty much what happened with Oh, no. Never mind. It was really just Mewtwo, and then they had a Paladin Wins is the new anime, or the animated web series that's going to be coming out for this game. But outside of that, I mean, they talked about the Detective Pikachu returning. It's now available to pre-order. That comes out October 6th, 2023. Have you guys ever played a Detective Pikachu game? I didn't know it had a game before.
Haven't. I think it started as a game, kind of like a Phoenix Wright type thing, and then it was a movie. But I never got into Detective Pikachu.
Okay, well, then they had Pokemon Path of the Peak, which was basically it was like a short animated series for Pokemon, and I think it comes out August 11. And yeah, man, I mean, I'm really grasping at straws here. There was not much here. They talked about Pokemon Go Fest. They talked about Pokemon Go. They talked about Pokemon Unite, second anniversary event, and then they talked about Pokemon Cafe, Pokemon Stadium 2 coming to the Nintendo 64 and Nintendo Switch Online, which is cool. I like Pokemon Stadium 2, but I'm not paying for Nintendo Switch Online for just that game anyway. So honestly, this was a hit for, I don't know who was a hit for. But I guess people people in the comment section, I think I've outgrown Pokemon. Yeah, if you're still over the age, no, you know what? Pokemon is timeless. Enjoy what you enjoy, but Pokemon for me it really is pushing for a more universal audience, but I think the game isn't universal enough for me, so I just don't want to play it. But anybody that found this enjoyment in these types of games, they did have a Pokemon Direct today, and they went over a lot of updates for their mobile game, the Switch game, championships, events. I don't even know what they got. They got something called Pokemon Sleep. I have no idea what that is. But yeah, if you want more information on that, you can check it out on plenty of websites that want to talk about Pokemon. But Jalen, Josh, have you outgrown Pokemon? Yes or no?
Yeah, I would say I outgrew Pokemon a long time ago, because the last one I bought and actually played was X and Y, and those games are okay. I didn't really like them that much, but the game that I wanted to play was the one that came after, when they were in Hawaii, or Aloha, I forget the name of it, Sun and Moon. I bought it, played it like an hour, and never touched it again. But that was one that people said was really good. So I'm over Pokemon in the sense where I don't think the continued world and characters and Pokemon that they're adding does anything for me anymore. Like, I don't care about new Pokemon. And people might fall off for different reasons, but I feel like it's an unpopular opinion for me, but when they have small regions that focus on the old stuff, I'm interested in it. Pikachu and Eevee, it was interesting because that's what I grew up with. All the new stuff I don't really care about, and they're adding DLC to the new games, and even if I still play Pokemon, I don't see myself buying DLC to play more Pokemon. Because each game is like DLC.
Yeah, no, that's true. What about you, Jalen?
Yeah, I outgrew Pokemon a long time ago. Probably about, I think it's pushing that boundary back when X and Y came out. I think that was in 2013. It just, like I said, it just wasn't the same. It's getting a little bit complicated. The design of the Pokemon, a little different, but I think the overall tone of the game and stuff like that, I think it kind of became a little bit targeted towards a younger audience. And what was the other thing, man? The games got way too easy. I'm not saying the older games was tougher. I mean, they was tougher. The older games was tougher, but they wasn't crazy hard or something. You can figure out strats and stuff like that to easily take on some people or whatever. But the newer games, they just started, giving everybody EXP, in training is just this tutorial. I remember Sun and Moon, literally, I felt like it was a tutorial forever, and you couldn't get rid of this one dude, and they tell you how to play the game, and it wasn't fun to play, honestly. So that's why I kind of started. Remember a while ago I was playing that one Emerald Kaizo because it was a challenge. It was Generation 3 stuff. I think they might have had some Generation 4 stuff in there, but like I said, the game, they just too easy. And I think literally one of the devs of the game said they made Pokemon easier to compete with some of the mobile games or something like that. Don't know why they said that, but don't know the correlation. I mean, you still got to pay for the game versus playing the free mobile games and stuff like that. But
I think they just fell short of bridging the gap between us and the younger crowd. They just fell short of that. They're either going to have to deal with us or they have to deal with the younger crowd. And I think we realized that they probably swayed towards they're not giving either side what they want, so the younger crowd might be more intrigued, so they might just swing the pendulum to like them. They might just go for it for them, which just seems like that's what's happening because it's not for me. And I think a lot of you, I think once y'all kind of realized that around why, I think it kind of continued in that down that path, Sun, and then it went to Sword and Shield, and every last one of them, I was like, nah, this ain't for me. I don't really care for this. But I think I stopped playing Pokemon after Emerald. Yeah, that was the last time I played it. Like actually played them and not just bought something or picked it up and never touched it again after I got my first starter Pokemon. So yeah, it's been a rough road for me and Pokemon, but I think do you guys feel that way? Do y'all feel like they try to cater to a certain group, or no? Do y'all think it's just like it's just getting it's an old formula?
That is it. For a long time, they didn't. Well, they got a bunch of issues. I just think they're out of touch in general, and they're trying to play all their cards to. Because for a long time, Pokemon didn't change enough, and then when it did change, the changes were so like dumb or minor. It didn't really feel like anything new, like the mega evolutions and stuff like that. And then when mobile games start really popping off and kids had easy access to those games for free, they start making mobile Pokemon games. Like, what is it, Pokemon Masters and stuff like that. So they're focusing on a lot of different ways to get people interested in it. I just think they don't know what it is people want. And realistically, I think what people have just been saying for a long time is just make a big budget AAA Pokemon game, and everybody will buy it. It'll be the best selling game every time you drop it. So, but that's something that they refuse to do. Say they want 50 different animes, 5 different mobile games, and new Pokemon game every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just echoing, they definitely cater to the kids, man. I mean,
yeah,
it ain't. They reuse the formula tired and stuff. They try to throw in little gimmicks and things like that at this point, but it's still a tired formula, and it's just showing that they can't adequately make a they can't adequately
pivot
evolve Pokemon or pivot.
They can't do anything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, it's being shown. I mean, we see Arceus, however you want to call it. You see, like, Sword and Shield. You see the graphics of the game. You see how, I mean, the game battle system and stuff is in depth at this point because of the large array of moves and different things, like how they switch stuff. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of strats and different things with high-level Pokemon play. But you see a lot of the games that get traction are the harder, like the hardcore games and stuff like that, like all the ROMs and stuff. People like doing that because they can manipulate the game, they can make it better, and then they gravitating towards the old formula of Pokemon, like with the overworld and the tiles and all those sorts of things, because people don't play Pokemon for the graphics and stuff like that. They play it for the challenge, the large amount of strategy and versatility that can come into play in the battles and stuff like that. And that's why sometimes I watch the friends like, how can you get past this battle, this, that, and the third? Versus these newer games, it's like, all right, well, this Pokemon, you fighting them, okay, they got a pseudo-legendary, but they pseudo-legendary literally has 3 moves. Like, why don't they have a 4th move? Like, it's stuff like that. Like, the game is ridiculously easy. So, and like I was alluding earlier, the graphics of Arceus and Sword and Shield, the music, the non-voice acting, like the games, they not aging well, man. So
it's scratchy, scratchy game. It's scratchy.
I'm like, these look like Pokemon Coliseum, bro. Like Pokemon Coliseum came out in 2004. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all still ain't got voice acting in the game?
Nope.
Cutscenes, like,
bro,
shadowing, graphics.
Do the minimum. They do the minimum. Well, I'm not saying that Pokemon do the minimum. I'm saying that there is obviously a trend for Nintendo games of what to do and what not to do. Like their highest grossing game ever probably only has 67 lines of dialogue, spoken dialogue. I'm talking Legend of Zelda, in the game, and it truly is what they're showing as their elevation. So even if that game, I know that game probably made well over any Grand Theft Auto, any game out there outside of like a select few. Probably not Grand Theft Auto, but it's a high selling game, and that's what they got off, and that's where they was able to get off with, and nobody cared. So it's truly about the gameplay for them. It's truly about the immersive action, the every second combat versus like truly amping production on those ends, where some people may value that more and some people may not. So I can't knock Nintendo for winning at their game. So what I can say is that I don't find enjoyment in playing most of their games, and we all know that. We all kind of came to that conclusion a while back. Like, it's only a select few of games that I can handle that do these type of techniques that I enjoy. Like, I'm not going to go play Kirby because I know Kirby may be fun gameplay, but it's the same formula I've seen in another Mario game, or in Super Mario World, or Yoshi's World, or whatever the case may be. All these games got the same formula, and they all kind of have the same thing. It's just that they have uniqueness of the character, so to kind of hold the glue together. And that's not enough for me, but it's enough for plenty, and that's fine. Just not enough for me, and I think that's what we have to come to terms with when it comes to these games as well. I just don't like when because as you stated, it still has the value of the combat and the competitiveness of that at points, but most of the time when they try to branch out, it causes the things that you may love and enjoy to get punished. So it's a lose-lose situation. They can either keep doing the same thing and feed the people that want it, or they can try to do something new and try to get more people to engage it. Because I'm pretty sure nobody was playing Pokemon with the top down no more. Like, not any young kids. They like, this isn't fun for me. All this dialogue, come on, I need some flashy flash. So ain't nobody finna be doing that. And that's what it is. It's like, yeah, we have to move into 3D graphics. We're not ready yet, but we have to move into it because nobody's gonna buy our games like that. And Pokemon has not been selling like the greatest, but it is still a great selling game. I'm not gonna get me wrong. I'm just saying it's not like selling like it used to, like where people would go out. And I think Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon, I think we had some redemption with that one, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's not like the best selling thing.
Well, Scarlet, I think, did better, but yeah, they can still do a lot better. Than what they have right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it is what it is. I don't want to harp too much on Pokemon. Any last words before we move on? All right. Well, let's get to it. So, Luffy. So Gear 5 was the episode for them finally introducing Gear 5, and I'm looking forward to the next episode, to be honest. But Gear 5 was shown off this week, episode 1071. I am a huge One Piece fan. And unfortunately, over time, my memory has deteriorated, and a lot of the stuff that I used to be able to remember and understand the cadence and like the understanding of behind things, it kind of started to deteriorate. It's just so many episodes. Like I said, it's 1071 episodes. That is a lot. For me, when Gear 5 was introduced, from the jump from Gear 4 to Gear 5 being introduced, they call him Joy Boy, Nika. It unfortunately did not hit the same as everyone wanted it to for a lot of people, and unfortunately I am included. I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed. I'm more so just curious to get a more or better understanding of everything. yes, they try to provide you all the information in a specific amount of time, but because again, I'm old, we're old. We've been watching this show for a very long time. The jump from Gear 3 to Gear 4 was a lot shorter than the Gear 4 to 5. It feels as if they want us to remember every small detail that may be included in why this power exists or why this makes sense for Luffy. When honestly, I just wanted to see something super flashy and cool. This was not it for me. This was more of subjective. I think a lot of people weren't ready for a subjective type of anime or experience. So let me give you guys some background on the episode a little bit so we can kind of talk a little bit more, or at least I can talk about it a little bit more. The background on the episode was that, or at least why this mode makes sense for Luffy. Luffy is made of rubber. He ate a gum fruit or whatever, and it caused him to change his body and basically the material of his body. It became rubber. This Year 5 of this Joy Boy, they say that this is a legendary fruit. Nobody knew this. This is a legendary fruit that people were trying to get their hands on, and for somehow, some way, Luffy ended up eating it in a bar somewhere a very long time ago. But this Joy Boy has not been around for 800 years, and this was the whole, I guess, reason around why Luffy was so important. Not only that, but because why this power was so unique. Because it was one of these special fruits that no one could get their hands on, blah, 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 blah. But they told us that in the beginning of the episode. I honestly, and I feel like maybe I'm the only one that's in the dark, I had no idea that his fruit was supposedly special. I just thought he kept elevating his abilities, and maybe there were plenty of hints out there, and maybe I'm just crazy. But obviously he's a special person, but I thought it was more correlated to the D and Monkey D Luffy than anything else. And maybe I am telling how much I'm not that dedicated, but I think for the average person that has watched it the way I have over the years, maybe caught up over time and periods, and maybe have the same sense of memory that it's not their life, I think we would probably all feel the same, that this wasn't what we were expecting. So let's get back to the episode. They tell us that at the beginning. They show us what the power is at the end. The power at the end is that he basically makes the world rubber, and it becomes cartoony. Like the animations, like I'm talking eyeballs popping out of his head, mask type animation. I'm talking Bugs Bunny. If you ever seen that type of animation, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's very cartoony. His eyeballs popped out of his head quite a few times. I'm talking when he was fighting the other guy. It's like that is the type of animation we got introduced to. And we've never seen it before. This is how they wanted to introduce it. Some people lost their mind and thought it was amazing. I was sitting there kind of confused. I had to literally watch it back to know what was happening, because my whole screen was filled with cartoons and I didn't have no idea what was happening. But everyone is explaining to me this is the essence of Luffy. Yes, I know he laughs. Yes, I know he's a joyous character. But the essence of Luffy, like Snake Man, Gear 4, these are like tough, brawly individuals. I thought what Joy or Gear 5 was going to do for him was totally different. And I don't read the manga, so I'm sorry if I sound uneducated in all of the extra, but I don't, because it's not everybody's thing. So what I have to work off of is everything that happened before. And I don't know if I missed a special episode. I don't know if I missed something, but I would think if you're going to be tying us along the entire time, there should be some cadence to it. Even the episode 1 or 2 before, like literally nothing prepared me for this. And I feel like that was mostly everyone, because it was very divided online. Some people thought it was great, and some people thought it wasn't the greatest. Some people think he's overpowered, and I don't think he's overpowered or anything like that. I just think there's probably some way we have to understand this better, and I think all of that's going to come in this episode, in the next episode, and therefore after. Because right now, it's just pretty much, we saw a cool transformation. I did like the transformation. And then we saw these powers, and these powers kind of confused a lot of us. But I mean, it's still based on rubber. It's just that he was able to pull up the entire world and make it rubber and bounce back and attack as if he was just playing basketball. So it was just like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys didn't see it, but that was the experience. And
some people talk about it online. I was confused. I thought it was about something with Gears 5.
No.
War 5. Right.
It's Gear.
What happened?
Gear 5th.
But that makes more sense that why people were upset. I mean, I'm not into One Piece. I've seen like 2 episodes total. So for me, I've always seen Luffy as goofy. But yeah, changing the whole rules of the world is something that is like
it's jarring.
Yeah,
it's very jarring, and I think that's what truly made people like, okay, yeah, what do we now expect as well? Like, it was super jarring, and it just felt as if they did not build us up to it. So it was something so fast that I felt like, well, what was I watching just a little bit beforehand? Because he was like, he's doing hockey. He was like, Joy Boy seems as if it doesn't even take into the hockey into an account. It's just, he's just made out of rubber, and he can bend the world to his will. So that means, how do you unlock this? But all they did was tell us that he ate the human fruit. It's a magical fruit. And this fruit is so special. It's got this, it contains this sun god. And I'm like, what? Wait, how did it? And it's just like, oh, it never appeared. It never presented itself. You know how in Bleach, the dude had the hollow and it appeared. And like you kind of understood as you watched it. It had none of that. So to me, I felt like y'all just threw something out there. But everybody else is like, nah, y'all wasn't paying attention. I'm just like, bro, I mean, I've been watching this since the beginning, G. I think I would have known if I saw something that hinted at this. All I ever had was the indication of what the D stand for. Like, everybody that's strong has this D middle name. Nobody knows what the D stand for, which is stupid anyway in my thoughts. But that's what the whole mystery was. But not to just throw this in there and just say, yeah, y'all ain't real One Piece fans. I just felt so bamboozled a little bit, and I was like, whatever. I ain't gonna say nothing, because I'm just like, why am I getting on the internet and arguing with some people that fanatics about this anime? I just thought it was silly. I just thought, okay, maybe we'll get better answers on the next one. But this was not a great debut to me. This was nowhere near Ultra Instinct, but I didn't want to compare either. It was just that. I mean, I guess a lot of people were laughing at people because they said this is going to break the internet, and it did not do that. I was able to watch it easily, but a lot of people were saying that the servers went down, which I can expect that there was probably some things that caused it to not be able to be shown, but I was able to watch it and no issue. So, I'm not saying that it wasn't special. I'm just saying that it wasn't what I expected, and that I need additional info and time to adjust to this fight. I honestly was like, I don't even want to watch him fight. It's just so chaotic. I don't want this. This isn't what I want to see right now because I don't even know how to follow it. But that is what they consider to be his power. That he's just chaos, and now you can't really do anything about it, but just get beat up. But I was like, can I at least watch what that happens? Can I watch from a 2D screen while everything else is happening? Because if I'm following his motion, like, y'all should watch this episode just to watch it. But y'all tell me if am I tripping or not. Just if you want to watch it, I mean, you can go online and watch just a clip of him actually turning and fighting. But it is like super chaotic. But yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on Luffy, but y'all got any thoughts before I push on to the next topic? I don't think have you guys ever been bamboozled that way, where y'all was watching something and it goes left and you don't know how? No.
I'm trying to think of anime situation, but
like, I don't think I would ever. The only thing I could think of is when. But no, I mean, I would still think, even with Super Saiyan 3, I was like, their hair got longer all the time. So I was like, no. I don't ever know. I don't know. I don't think I ever seen a power up where I felt like it was not good, or if the power up didn't make sense to the character. So I've never seen it. Not yet. Not until this. And I don't think I'm not saying that doesn't make sense. I'm saying that I don't like understand it.
But not like the main character, yeah. Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what they do next. But obviously everybody's that's read the manga have been introduced to this. They have been explained to this a lot more, so it's fine there. But right now, this is a little jarring. So hopefully next episode clears up some questions, helps me understand the fight better, and understand how this ebbs and flows and what he can truly do. Because right now, I just don't get it. I don't understand his power. But at the same time, they only gave me 5 minutes, 6 minutes before they told me to understand it. So it's a little jarring. But yeah, that's it on Luffy. Let's move on to the next. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but cloud gaming is a thing. Actually, it's become one of my favorite things, but it's not like I'm running cloud gaming through my I'm running through my home internet, but I love to be able to stream a game to a device and play that on the device. I love doing it on my Steam Deck. I love doing it with my PS5. I love doing it on my Xbox. I love doing it with my PC. Because it gives me more power, so I can actually continue to play the game longer, but it also allows me to graphically enhance the game without having to compromise on the handheld device. So I'm kind of understanding the appeal of a PS5 device. I just don't understand why it's only for the PS5. Like, I would love a handheld streaming game or console or whatever. But I think the Steam Deck works perfectly because it can be a mix and match. Games can run on it, and I can also stream to it. So I think the Steam device is perfect for what I'm talking about. But while I'm talking about cloud gaming, the PlayStation recently just did their PS5 updated beta for their cloud game streaming. And they have a few games on there that's able to actually run up to the full 4K. Now, there are devices out there that allow this, but there are not that many. And unfortunately, Xbox is not one of them. So my understanding is that their cloud-based gaming runs on Microsoft's software. So I was very surprised that PlayStation beat out Xbox into introducing 4K streaming. I unfortunately have not had the ability to try it, but yeah, they're running games on there right now like Death Stranding, Demon Slayer, Demon Souls, Destiny 2, Destruction All Stars, Fall Guys, Fortnite, God of War Ragnarok, Forbidden West, Resident Evil Village, Returnal, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure. And PlayStation 5 cloud streaming is just basically the successor to PlayStation Now. But yeah, I'm surprised by that, to be honest. I wouldn't think that would be the case because I know that's something that people have been harping on Xbox to get and bring over. But not only that, I think cloud gaming is getting such a bad rep at the moment that once it actually pops and clicks with people, I think it's going to be a special thing. Like, I really like cloud gaming. I mean, even a small utility that the Xbox provides where I can just play a game real quick, see if I want to play it fully, and then download the rest. That tells me pretty much everything, the usefulness of it, because I don't have to deal with downloading it first. And if I don't want to play it, I delete it, you know? So that concept in itself included on top of that, I'm talking about being able to take games on the go without having much issue. I'm not someone that wants to be on my phone all day, but I also don't want my phone to be something I play on because why? So I prefer a streaming device that I can use that is handheld with, i.e. the Steam Deck. And I don't like, having to use the Xbox or the PlayStation app. So those useful things that I can use elsewhere is beneficial to me. And that's why I was kind of trying to give the Project Q a little grace. But it's an Android tablet with a DualSense controller. And they're probably going to charge $300 to $400 for it. That tells me that they don't even understand what they're trying to provide to you. So why would I pay for that? I could buy a Steam Deck and get way more value, But yeah, I think cloud gaming. I mean, what's your opinion on cloud gaming? I guess I'll start there because I kind of want to know what your experience has been, if you had an experience, and what's your perception of cloud gaming. Do you actually find it, useful, or do you can do with or without it? Like, if someone was able to get you to be able to play all your games on the fly without an issue, and you only had to use your TV, would that be something of interest to you, or do you really need a actual console there?
You can go ahead, Jalen.
What was the question? I know you asked like what we think about cloud gaming.
It's two things. What do you think about cloud gaming, and whether or not you feel as if it is a useful thing? Well, I guess that's the same thing. What do you think about cloud gaming? That's simple enough.
I mean, I think cloud gaming cool. I think it's a convenient way to access games. Granted, you got the internet speed. I think everybody got the internet speed. If I got it, everybody else should, right? But I think it's convenient, especially if you just want to. I think with the conjunction of like Game Pass and stuff like. I mean, I guess if you're on any type of cloud thing, then you probably
a subscription.
Or whatever. Yeah, so you can disregard what I just said, but I think it's convenient. You don't have to, take storage up on your game. Obviously, storage probably becoming a little bit more pronounced than what they used to because of the installation for these games and stuff versus just being able to put the disc in and just play it. So cloud gaming could kind of mitigate a lot of those things, especially if you just want to like sample a game out. Now, I guess the only gripe I have with cloud gaming is you need to be, I guess, like in the right environment, if you will. Most time consoles are going to be like that. I know sometimes people, they can play cloud gaming on a Switch or something. And, if you're going somewhere else, then, now you got to run into like other internet issues or whatever. But that's kind of like a small percentage of it. I guess the biggest gripe I have with it will probably be like on games where you play multiplayer, like the latency, those sorts of things. But
yeah,
at that point, you might as well just go ahead and download the game, especially if it's like on a subscription type thing and they let you do it like Game Pass. Well, I don't know how like PlayStations work if they actually let you download the game or something like that. But
they recently updated that so you can download them. Yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's really the only gripe. Other than that, I think cloud gaming, it works pretty well. I couldn't think of any glaring issues that would make it, just like a horrible thing.
Unuseful. Yeah.
Especially if you have options. Like as long as you have the option to download the game, then I think cloud gaming that works pretty smoothly
But
because
it'd
it
never
adds
be a
versatility.
replacement for a console, right? To you.
You mean kind of like if something was like Stadia or something like that, and
Yeah.
then just let you. No, I don't think it ever be a replacement for consoles. I think it's cool if consoles can do it, but doing something just strictly like a Stadia or something like that, probably not. Honestly,
There's a lot of stuff going around about how like people are they're requiring individuals to have internet and things like that. And I was kind of wondering what does that world look like where they kind of mandate where it no longer is necessary because internet has become so evolved, and like people can have 5G throughout their entire day. They don't have to ever have like a bad download speed, and there's no issues with connectivity and connectivity issues of desyncing or lossless inputs. Like when that world comes to fruition, I find that the cloud gaming is going to be. I mean, obviously, it's going to be powerful. It's already powerful in that regard. But what I see it doing is transforming how I play games a lot, and it might make people nervous about your ability to own something. But honestly, I haven't owned a video or a movie in a very long time, and I don't miss owning movies. So I don't think I'm going to miss owning video games. I think my experience with video games cannot be robbed from me or taken from me. So I don't know if I would ever feel attached to a console or attached to a thing that plays video games. I just need something that allows me access to what I want to play, regardless of what that may be. I don't know. I guess that's my thought process. Like I don't own a TV show. I don't own movies. I don't own music. It has not stopped me from my enjoyment of loving any of those. It may have hurt the creators at points, but it did not affect the consumer at the end user. And do you think the transformation of that in video games will truly impact the user?
well, all right, you can go ahead, Joe.
I mean, yeah, I'll answer both real quick. To say I enjoy cloud gaming, but for the second point, I only enjoy cloud gaming as a additional service to the service that
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting from the game, not in replacement of it. Like I would never want just a fully streamed game. And I mean, part of it is ownership, yeah, but the other part is that it's not um, as
Ready.
reliable.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean it's not even about being ready. Like the internet speed is constantly going to get better, but games are always like interactive, and I think there's always going to be some sort of hurdle in the sense where maybe where you live, or power outages, or anything like that. There's a lot of reasons where that constant connection is not always going to be there, and so you're not going to be able to do it with a movie. You can still download movies, like even though it's streamed from Netflix or stuff like that, you still have the ability to download it. And I think more to the bigger point, I don't think that it has to be a replacement. Like for the company, it might make more sense where
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're gonna put Red Dead Redemption 3 streaming only and no physical copies. That works for the company. They can save money. They can cut costs for the consumer. That's just a value loss overall, and I don't think that as consumers we should always be like accepting of stuff like that. And then the second thing is that I think that cloud gaming. The only reason I like it is because it's convenient. I can play it on my PC. Like I was playing Guardians of the Galaxy on my PC down in my office, but when I went to play it in the living room, I could play it, download it on the Steam Deck, but I didn't like running it at like 30 FPS, so I streamed it, and it worked well and it was good. But I still had that core experience, and this is an additional feature. So that's just my view on it. Yeah.
Hmm. No.
Yeah,
And I guess the
so
other thing is that I was gonna say that because of like licensing and stuff like that, even though you, for example, The Witcher, like you enjoy watching The Witcher on Netflix, but if for whatever reason next year they just want to remove it from Netflix and it's not available anywhere else, I know that you've already seen it, but that's like that still is not like a good part of the internet that I've gotten used to. I think a lot of people are not used to that stuff where stuff just can disappear. Same thing for games. I don't think that we should like just let them disappear. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
for
there
example, the
is.
Guardians of the Galaxy game that I just mentioned, like it has a whole bunch of licensed music. The company that made it is no longer, well, they're still around, but it's no longer under Square Enix. So like, if that was a stream only game, I would 100% believe like they could probably just remove it from stores, and it's not available anywhere. And I don't know, that just feels weird.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that no, we're not ready yet. Do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely. And it's not like it's going to be where everyone agrees to move. I just think that it's
Hmm.
bound to happen simply because of the experiences I've seen or the kind of changes that I've seen throughout history. I mean, well, I didn't start with streaming music, but I'm ending with it. I didn't start with streaming in movies, but I'm ending with it. So I just know that it's going to happen, regardless of what I may idolize or truly want. I just know it's going to happen. So I just have to be prepared for the shift and prepare my, how I interact with games anyway. Because I am getting older, obviously. I'm not as interested in holding on to previous games as I used to be. I do enjoy backwards compatibility, and I do enjoy the ability to go back and play a large catalog like on my PC. But to be truthful, I probably have only spent time playing a previous game 3 to 4 times, and I think that there is going to be a provided solution for what we're asking for, but it may not be the best that it was when we had it physical only. Physical. So I mean, there may be a slight change to what that may look like, but I think we will always have the option to pull back out a certain game or a certain thing. And the games that we truly loved and grew up on ourselves, like the ones right now, like all of these multiplayer stream only, always online games, these are what the kids are growing up with. The games that we grew up with have been cataloged and are ready for us to pick up whenever we so decide. And they're always going to be there. But the games that Fortnite, these games, Apex Legends, these kids grew up on, they're already shifting from what we find as a norm. Like, I love Baldur's Gate's success because it is an offline game and it's able to be played without that stuff. But it's not the norm, and that's why we praise it. So I know what's going to happen because I already know what type of games they forcing down our throats, and they forcing us to play. They don't like single player games. It's too expensive and it's one time only. They love multiplayer games. They love stream only games. They love those types of continued online service games. So I guess I'm not suggesting anything I don't see coming, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm for it. I just know it's going to happen. So, but I agree. We need a better solution to it before it switches and shifts. I think that what you state is very much so true. You don't want to just give in. And I think a lot of people are doing the work that we, don't have the capabilities nor the technical skill in preserving games and things like that. But I think at some point, it's going to happen. So,
Yeah, and I'll at least say that I'm happy with how Steam and in some ways Xbox has taken some steps to like make it feel like you can have a library that continuously grows and won't disappear generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo's been the worst about it, where it's like, they're gonna have a new Switch at some point. Maybe you keep the games,
Mm-hmm.
physical or digital, but you never know with Nintendo. They're probably gonna have a new subscription service.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe and you can play your old cartridges. That's what
Yeah.
Nintendo want to.
That's what they
But
want
yeah,
to do. Yeah. That's what they want to do
that's what they
so
want.
bad. Yeah. Never gonna happen.
Um,
But that's what they want to.
hmm
Yeah. So
So yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
no, I just games are going to become more complicated to as a consumer product, and they're going to find every way to squeeze every dollar out. So
Yeah, that's what
I'm
they're
looking
doing
forward
now.
to it.
They want to sell these large, epic, granular games that can never be re-emulated or broken down or reconfigured because they don't want you to. They want you to kind of have to deal with them. So as that skill set and that mindset continues to evolve and change and that ability to do so evolves and change and the need to do so. Like that's the only reason why, streaming existed. We were too good at taking it. They had to figure out another way to monetize it and devalue it enough that we would pay for it. Like that is
Mm.
that is the consumer world. So there is no way I mean there's just no way in my mind do I see that this gaming community is preserved in this way forever. They have to muddy the waters. They have to either build the price up too egregiously, provide day one patches so you never get the disc on physical, or you never have the full disc on or the game on the disc that is shipped, because these things protect them from a lot of us, the takers. And I'm not saying us as in us. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying as the people that consume these games, they want to make sure that doesn't happen. So I see
Mm.
that becoming the norm, unfortunately, because of it. So we'll see though. But I mean that's pretty much it for this episode. I really didn't want to talk about much else. If it was, it's not that big of a deal. I know we have some really great deals going on right now for PS5 SSD storage. Those things are going for dummy prices. I'm talking about terabyte SSDs with super dumb crazy read and write speeds for $29.99. Crucial. I'm just like, wow. Xbox could never. So it's just, we already told y'all about that, how Xbox is losing that war. But yeah, I really don't have much else. Anything you guys want to talk about? I know you said, Josh, you had a lot of Evo stuff, but what was something that I know some of the big ones was like Mortal Kombat 1's characters. I know we saw like Taken had some stuff and things like that, but
Yeah, a lot of character announcements because this is the year of fighting games.
hmm
Yeah, they even updated old fighting games like Dragon Ball Fighters is getting Robot Neko. I think later this year is not ready to announce, but yeah, a lot of good stuff for fighting game fans.
hmm
Aki in Street Fighter looks weird. I don't really like her, but I'll wait and see her gameplay to see
the
if I want
Nails
to try
girl.
it out. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't
she'll
even watch
poison
it
you.
yet.
Yeah, she poison you and she act weird. It's like her story mode intro. What else? Yeah, Tekken characters. Everything in Tekken looking good. Mortal Kombat still looking good. They added Reptile and some other characters from Deception.
hmm
Uh, there was one other thing. Oh, Ken won Evo in Street Fighter. Because Ken is a OP character. But obviously the dude playing him was really good too. So
hmm
that actually matters. But Ken has been best since day one. A Smash Bros. Player won Guilty Gear,
Oh, really?
which never didn't happen before. But yeah, Evo seemed really good. It was probably one of the biggest that it's ever been, probably because of Street Fighter had their like $2 million prize pool. But yeah, Evo is growing, and it's good to see. And they showed out a lot of stuff for Project L. I don't know if y'all seen that. Project L is the name for the
I think it's
League
the
of
what
Legends
League of
fighting
Legends
game.
fighting game. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously League of Legends is big, but people are excited about it because they already announced it's going to be free to play, and we already know what Multiverses did since it was free to play. And then the
Mm-hmm.
people making it are I guess they've made fighting games before. They have like a good following of people who like their mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I would say about it is that it's going to be a hardcore fighting game. They have a bunch of mechanics, and it's going to be tag. So, for example, me and Deontay can be on the same team, but we both control separate characters. Like it's Marvel versus Capcom, but we have two characters. I control the first one, Deontay control the second one, and we jump back and forth. And so that's gonna add a whole nother level of like team play and complexity that you don't get in a lot of other fighting games. Or if you want, you can still play by yourself and have two characters. But it's seeming really hardcore, but it looks good.
Nice.
Uh, yeah, that's all for Evo really.
The only thing I wanted to give you two guys update on is the Overwatch 2 and Apex Legends. They have some recent updates. I can't tell you how much I don't care, but for you guys out there that truly do enjoy these continuation games where I'm not saying that they are bad games. Overwatch 2 I really still like. It's really Apex that I'm just like completely done with. But
Mhm.
Overwatch 2 had their official season 6 trailer drop today, so you guys can go check that out if you're interested. They have a new character, and I think the season is called Invasion. And then we
Yeah.
have Revenant Reborn, where Revenant had a pretty big rework, and things like that. So you can check that out as well. But that's pretty much it for us. I want to thank you guys for watching as always, or listening as well. Appreciate you. If you got to this part, you the real OG, and we will be back next week to try to give you guys some more entertainment, some more high fire, and that update on whether or not I beat Dead Space. But thank you guys for listening. As always, I knew that laugh was coming out. It's the huh. But yeah, I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will talk to you all next week. Peace.